We find ourselves in our study of the Gospel of Matthew at the end of chapter 4. We will be looking at the verse 25 at the end of chapter 4. And I'm going to read from the New Revised Standard Version. And great crowds followed him from Galilee, the Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan. Success is a fickle thing. What constitutes success? Money is one measure of success. Is money always a sign of success? Fame is another sign of success. Is being famous always a good thing? Position is also a measure of success. We understand that unless you are a somebody, you will not get certain jobs. Success is what people aspire to, but what is success? It is important to think this through, for we measure importance in modern culture by success. In fact, we could say that our culture provides all sorts of opportunities for people to have success. This then raises the question of whether we have created an inflationary cycle where certain levels of success are more successful than other levels of success. Now, for the moment, bear with me, for I am going, well, in circles. I would say one of the problems we have in our world is that people have been pushed to succeed, but they really do not know what success is. To this, we could say when you do not know what it is hard to know when you get there. In fact, we are starting to see one of the problems with success is that it has an elusive quality about it. You start to think you have it, and then it is gone. On the last point, I think of the star athlete, he or she who is now past their prime. In that sense, I would say to you, success is actually a mirage. Success, I would say to you, is something you may aspire to, but success is not actually something real and tangible. The pursuit of success could be likened, in my view, to greyhound racing. To those of you who are like me and not living in an area where it occurs, when I talk about greyhound racing, do not think of the buses. In greyhound racing, the dogs are trained to chase something around a track that is not real. Do you get that? They are chasing something that is not actual and real, but they will go around the track and race after it. You see, they are chasing something with all sorts of intensity. And what will they get out of it? To me, greyhound racing is a symbol of our modern culture, for we will abandon morals, family, and God to be successful. We, like the dogs, are chasing a fake rabbit around in an oval course. You see, I have never defined success because I cannot ultimately define it. For success does not mean the same thing to all people. This is why success is elusive, for it is ultimately something that is not real and actual. When we look at the end of chapter 4 of Matthew's Gospel, we could say Jesus was successful. The people were coming in droves. And if they took up an offering with some, old KFC chicken buckets, they could have had a killer offering. Was Jesus successful? We want to say yes, for we are trained by our culture to say that. By numbers, by the crowds, by the followings, by all sorts of measures, we want to say Jesus was successful. Notice though, Matthew ignores the question and proceeds from this verse to go into the Sermon on the Mount. In his own way, Matthew is dissing what has happened to go into the Sermon on the Mount. Matthew understood that the crowds were there because the people had yet to grasp what Jesus was about. You see, if this was all Jesus was about, he could stop here and say, I have success. Jesus knew he was only beginning, and nothing, in a sense, had yet been accomplished. We are not called to a life of success, but called to be faithful. So is our life about success, or it is about being faithful to Jesus of Nazareth and his call on us to come to follow him?